Welcome. In today's video, we are going to continue with these habits of millionaires. And today in specific, we're going to be focused on spiritual habits of millionaires. Welcome. I am Tanya Vasayo, the founder of The Courage to Be Happy. And let's go over some of these spiritual, more contemplative habits that millionaires have. The first one that I have seen across the board in all research is the attitude of gratitude. And it's just being grateful. And you might be wondering, what does gratitude have to do with making millions? It has so much, because you know what? What we appreciate appreciates. So when we start coming from a place that we are already abundant, that we live in a world of abundance, and we start appreciating everything we have around us, even if we have the minimum, you start focusing on everything you have instead of everything that you don't have, and you're appreciative and coming from a place with feeling. This is not just about, let me write down and affirm what I am grateful for today, because I've seen a lot of that. I highly recommend having gratitude journals. I've been doing this for many years, and I just recommend feeling that gratitude. Just think about, what are you grateful for today? And maybe you can even set up an alarm on a daily basis, several times a day, where it pauses you and you say, right now, I'll just pause and I'll say, what are 3 things that I can be grateful for right at this moment? The first one is technology. The fact that I can even be recording, a video and reaching anyone that's willing and wanting to listen right now, that's amazing. We take it for granted so much, but we have technology. We have our phones, we have the internet. That's the second one I'd be grateful for. Think for, the internet. We can reach thousands, millions of people through the internet, and we can connect with so many people across the globe. That is pretty amazing. That's something to feel grateful about. And the third one that just comes to mind is that you're even here listening. Thank you. I might not even see your face. You might not leave a comment, but I know that hopefully there's something that I'm sharing with you right now that touches you in some way, shape, or form. And I'm grateful for you just giving me of your time. You could be doing a gazillion other things right now, and you're here. See how easy that was, of just finding 3 things you're grateful for right at this moment. And at the end of the day, like I mentioned, if you already do a gratitude journal, awesome. If you don't, I highly recommend get yourself a gratitude journal and start writing down at least 5 things you're grateful for from that particular day. And the challenge that I add to it for myself is that I can never write down the same anything that's repeated from the day before. So if I just said I was grateful for the internet, and I'm grateful for technology, and I'm grateful for you, I wouldn't be able to write that same thing down tomorrow, because then it doesn't come from a place where you're looking, it's kind of like just more mechanical, and it's not that space of feeling it. I'll do another video about gratitude and the importance and the correlation with money and being able to make your millions. So number 1 habit is definitely keep that attitude of gratitude. Remember that what you appreciate appreciates, and just stay focused on that. That's a huge one in the world of money. Be grateful. Here's another one that you can add with it. Be grateful for every dollar that you put out and every dollar that comes in. We tend to be grateful for the money that comes in, and we tend to hold on and be resentful to the money that has to go out. I don't want to pay it. But I invite you to change that. Like one of my mentors used to say, Louise Hay, she's like, pay your bills with gratitude. Think about, they gave you a service. You're paying the electric company, or you're paying your cell phone company. They gave you a service, and they trusted you enough that you would come up with the money to pay them at the end of the month. That's something to be grateful for. So that's a little shift in our gratitude, not just from the money that comes into our life and our abundance, but that we have the capacity to share, to give to others, and be grateful for that. So be grateful to your money and be grateful for everything that you have around in your life. Second habit, spiritual habit that millionaires do is they value themselves. They value the work. They value what they're putting out into the world. They know that they matter. They know that they have a dream, and they're doing everything to put this purpose out there. So they value the work that they have and what they're doing for their families, for their communities, for the world at large. If they have a business, because they might be employing other people, you might even be employing other people in your home. Maybe you've hired a cleaning lady, or maybe you've hired a CPA. Like, who are the people that you pay in your life, and that you get to value your work because you're paying other people, you're giving, and you know what you are meant to do and that you matter with your work. The third one is they help other people be successful. So it's not just about them. Millionaires know that it's not just about them, and it's about giving, and it's about enhancing, and about having this ripple effect as they're growing and they're succeeding, as helping all the others that are coming behind. We want to have that impact. We want to have that ripple effect in our life. And if you're thinking to yourself right now, well, I don't have an impact, I'm just a stay-at-home mom, I want you to rephrase that. Stay-at-home moms is, to me, for example, and I'm just using stay-at-home mom because it came to my mind right now, because sometimes we undervalue our work and that we matter in the world. And here's the thing, stay-at-home moms, to me, is one of the biggest, hardest, most important jobs in the world, because you are giving the tools, the systems to prepare this little human being to be able to function in society and to be a contribution to our world, to be able to leave our world a better place. Wow, what a bigger job than that. That's where I want you to value your work too. We all matter. We all have value to provide. And millionaires know that. And that's something that they go back to because they know and they understand the value that they're providing and that they're putting into the world. And we're helping others succeed along the way. The fourth millionaire habit, spiritual habit that I've read and I've seen and researched is that millionaires carve out time for ideas. They carve out time for downtime. It's not always about push, go, do. There's time for reflection, for that connection with nature, going for a walk, doing meditation, just allowing space for ideas to just show up. It's space. It's what I call white space. They carve out time in their calendar to just be. They carve out time in their calendar to just enjoy life instead of just do, which is something that we tend to pride ourselves in our culture, especially in this Western world. And honestly, it's not something you want to be proud of. If anything, I invite you to step away from the busyness and pride yourself on finding time for you, for self-care, for reflection, for ideas to pop into your head that then you can take into manifestation. So it takes me to the fifth practice. I think we're on 5. I don't know how many we have already, but the fifth one is to visualize, to tap into those dreams. As kids, we're always dreaming, we're visualizing. I can't tell you enough how my little girl is always coming up with ideas. Oh, the latest one this morning, her dream was to get an ostrich, and she wants to have an ostrich. And I'm like, well, why would you want to buy an ostrich and have an ostrich here? She's like, because I'd get to ride it around the neighborhood. I'm not going to put down that dream. I just told her that she'd have to research it, because I don't know if you can have ostriches here, if you need a license for it, how much they cost, what do they eat. I just kind of went along with the dream. In my head, I'm thinking there's no way she can ever have an ostrich, but if that's what gets her excited, go for it. And I just share that because it makes me laugh. As kids, we have all these crazy dreams, And as we get older and older, they get squashed and squashed with responsibilities of adulthood, as parenthood, and we start forgetting, about our dreams. And my invitation to you is that if you've put your dreams away in a corner in the back of your mind, to dig deep, do some journaling, pull them out, do some meditation, do some reflection, go back to our previous habit, carve out time for ideas to show up. What gets you excited? What's on your bucket list for your life? What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to do? If you knew you were going to drop dead tomorrow, have you accomplished all those dreams on your bucket list? And if not, a big majority of them. The next habit, spiritual habit that millionaires put in place is journaling. That's another form that you can use. I've been journaling for over 20 years. I have to give kudos and credit where credit is due. For me, it started with Julia Cameron and the book, The Artist Way. If you're not familiar with it, please go buy it and just do the activities in that book. But she talks about morning pages, and that's how I got started with journaling. She recommends waking up half hour earlier before your normal wake up time, and immediately just start journaling. Free flow. It's not about editing. It's not about perfect writing. Just write what's going on in your mind. And the first layers of that writing and that journaling tend to be mundane things and things that aren't really important, like, oh, I have to wash the dishes today. Oh, don't forget to take the dog to the vet. Whatever it is that you have to do. So it tends to be writing. She recommends doing at least half an hour of writing straight, nonstop, not editing. Don't look back. Or at least 3 full pages of writing, and not on the computer, because there is a process of doing it handwriting. And so I started doing this over 20 years ago. And it's been a habit of mine and a practice of mine for the over 2 decades now, sometimes more and sometimes less. When I had a kid, it was hard for me to carve out that time for journaling. But this is a big habit. It's a spiritual habit of the millionaires, is carving time out for journaling, for ideas to emerge. So you can see these are kind of intertwined. You could spend some time doing meditation. You could spend some time in silence and letting the ideas come in. And you can also journal and see what stuff starts coming out. And Julia Cameron and her way, and how I learned it from her, she doesn't recommend reading what you wrote until at least 2 weeks have gone by. And now I've created my own little system within my journaling and my writing, because there's a lot of fluff and there's a lot of stuff that's not really important. And I don't want to go back through all my journals and read stupid stuff that I don't really care about. What I do is I'll put a little asterisk, and I have my little table of contents. I'm such a nerd, but I'll put my little table of contents of important things in that writing. Maybe I came up with an idea for the business or a class that I want to teach or something, and I'll put a little asterisk. I have my pages numbered, and I'll see what number page that's on, so that I can refer back to it, because I can't tell you how many ideas I've had in journaling. It is such an important practice. If it's not something you're used to, I really recommend you doing it. You will discover so many things about yourself. The next one is all about the next habit, spiritual habit that millionaires use, is be curious. They're always curious and they're always learning. Curiosity leads to learning. And when you learn from mentors, you learn from teachers, you learn from coaches, you learn from books, you learn from audios, you learn from events. I mean, it's just, especially in this day and age that we live of technology, there's of information. We live in the information age. It is so easy to just learn from a video like you are right now, learn from a book, learn from mentors. Just be curious, ask other people, just be curious, continue learning. It's millionaires, a spiritual practice is that they are the eternal learners. They don't go around thinking that they know everything. It's quite the opposite. They always look at life as they're beginning to learn certain things. And even if they master, I've seen this so many times with people that are wealthy, entrepreneurs, that are successful, even though they might have mastered a certain area it might be finances or in their craft, whatever it is, they're always thirsty and curious to learn from others. They know that they don't know it all. So keep that open mind, keep that curiosity going, and continue learning with everything that you have. Those are my top spiritual habits of millionaires. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love to hear some comments below. Just share with me, do you practice any of these? Do you journal, or do you visualize, or do you carve time out for ideas? Are you a constant learner? If so, what kind of things do you like learning? And if you don't practice any of these, that's okay too. Like now, maybe this was what you needed to hear. And just let me know which one of these practices you want to start, you want to incorporate into your life, in your spirituality. So thank you for being here. I really appreciate your time. My name is Tanya Vasallo, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit subscribe. That way you can be notified when I'm pulling out, sharing new videos and new tips and new tools on how to create prosperity, abundance, and change our mindset so that we can welcome all that abundance and the millions and the riches into our life. Until then, I'm looking forward to reading your comments, and thank you for being with me today. I really appreciate it. Mwah! Big kisses, and I'll see you soon. Thank you so much.